So we just talked about the rainforest habitat, and remember the rainforest was really big with lots of trees, and it was very wet because it rained a lot. Now we're going to talk about the savanna. And the savanna, or we refer to it as the African savanna because most of them are found in Africa, is a very grassy plain with very few shrubs or trees. I mean, look, there's only one tree in that picture. And it gets very little rain, so it's very dry and it's very warm there. So remember on our map, I showed you where Antarctica was here. That's where the polar bears and the penguins live. We just talked about the rainforest, which is over here in South Africa. And now we're going to talk about the African savanna. And the African savanna is over here in the country of Africa. So that's right here where the savanna is, the African savanna. And in the African savanna, we have lions that live there. So here's my lion, and elephants. And then I did have a giraffe, but I lost my giraffe, so that's somewhere that I'll have to find. So let's just talk really quick about some animals that live in the African savanna. So here was my picture, remember, of the savanna. So it's very grassy, or it's called the grassland, and it has very few shrubs or trees, and it gets very little rain, so it's very dry for most of the year, and it is warm there. So here's our African savanna. So here I have a picture of an elephant. So elephants live in the African savanna. We have a giraffe. Giraffes live in the African savanna. And we have a lion. I know I read a story earlier in the year and we went on a safari. Remember we went on a safari around the room and we found all the animals. That's when we were talking about the zoo, and some of these animals were in our safari because they live, sometimes you go on an African safari and you would see these animals in the African safari or savanna. So let's just talk about some animals that live in the African savanna. So here's my beautiful picture of this African savanna. So here's my picture, right? It's very grassy or dry, very few trees and very few shrubs, and it's warm. So we're gonna put some pictures on here that live in the savanna. So let's see what I have first. First I have, this is called an ostrich, a very tall bird. An ostrich lives in the African savanna. What else do we have? Ooh, a crocodile. Crocodiles live in the African savanna. Big hippopotamus. Hippopotamus live in the savanna. What else do we have? Ooh, remember I said an elephant, and here's my elephants live in the savanna. So I'll put my little, you can't see him there, but we'll have his little trunk. An elephant lives in the savanna. We also have, ooh, this is called a hyena. If you've seen The Lion King, there's hyenas. Ooh, if you have seen The Lion King, the whole movie of Lion King is in the savanna, the African savanna. So you should know, if you've seen that movie, what it looks like in the savanna. Let's see, this is, ooh, what's like a horse with black and white stripes? What animal is that? A zebra. Zebras live in the African savanna. Lots of zebras. Ooh, a rhinoceros. They live in the African savanna. And remember I said giraffes. They live in the African savanna, or just the savanna. And then we have two more. This is called an antelope. Antelopes, they run really fast and they can jump really high like a gazelle. And then my last one, it's the king of the jungle, although he doesn't live in the jungle. So the king of the savanna is a lion. Lions also live in the savanna. So here are all my animals that live in the savanna. So remember, we have zebras. We have the king of the jungle, lions, elephants, giraffes, hyenas, rhinoceros, hippopotamus. And remember, it doesn't get lots of rain. It's very dry. There's very few trees and shrubs, and it's very grassy on the ground, okay? And it's warm. So the African savanna. And then next we will talk about the desert habitat.